A Scrum team is developing a website for a company. During sprint reviews, stakeholders from marketing and sales attend, and they're generally very satisfied with the progress of the team. One day, the CEO of the company joins the review. They whip out their smartphone. Everything looks horrible. And it doesn't even work. He's getting error messages. The team begins to explain that he has to use a website on a desktop. The Scrum Master starts to scramble and find the definition of done, whether it even includes mobile development. What would you do? Hi, I'm Michael. I'm an enterprise coach and have accompanied hundreds of teams in adopting better ways of working, helping them improve significantly, both by adopting agile ways of working and helping them fix stuff other practitioners had broken. The first person that I would be addressing would be the Scrum Master, because the Scrum Master is accountable for the effectiveness of the team. And how effective is a team when a CEO says, you just delivered garbage? So this is the Scrum Master's job, and the Scrum Master has to act here. First thing, what is the point of a sprint review? The reason why we're not delivering in big batches at the end of a project, but doing sprint reviews, is because we want to collect incremental feedback. And if we don't have all the stakeholders, and the CEO is just one of many stakeholders, in every sprint review, then we are only gathering a certain portion of the feedback with each review. So there's nothing wrong here. The first statement would not be but this was out of scope or anything. It's, thank you for attending our review. This is the first time we met. And that's exactly the reason why we are having the reviews, because we want to deliver the best possible solution here. And you've given us some input that we didn't have before. And we need to decide what to do with that now. So let's focus first. Is it a problem? If we can all agree that it's a problem, then there's something we should be doing about it. There are features that may need to be added to our product, and there are potentially working agreements that the team may or may not have had in the past. If we had a working agreement that we agreed to make the site mobile, and it's not just an issue on a CEO's smartphone, but on every smartphone, that's something that the team really needs to look at, because the team is responsible for the outcomes of their work, and we should feel accountable for the quality of what we do. If we can't do quality workmanship, then we have some serious issues to talk about. But let's assume that something new came up. The CEO has this wonderful Windows smartphone from 2017 that is still running on Internet Explorer 4, and we never covered that. We could have the discussion, do we really want to invest $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 into supporting a device that's only getting used by the CEO himself and maybe one other person? Or is it worth investing the money somewhere else that is more important? That is a PO problem. So the PO needs to understand, who are our users? Do we have data on which devices they use, which operating systems, which browsers they use? Are we supporting the most important devices for our target audience? Do we have this kind of data, and are we acting on it? Are we setting our priorities accordingly? Are any non-functional requirements, such as we need to support Android and iOS, we need to support the 3 most recent browser versions for Chrome and for Safari and for Microsoft Edge, are they part of our product? If not, we need to add that. If they are, and we aren't acting upon that, then we need to see what do we need to change in our ways of working so that we will be acting consistently upon this. Okay, and then there's the next issue here. As a Scrum Master, should I be arguing the definition of done with the CEO? Imagine you yourself are a customer and you're going to a restaurant and you're getting a meal and you say, this one tastes horrible and it doesn't even look appetizing. Do you care what the definition of done from the chef is? You just say, I refuse to pay for this dish because I don't want to eat it. So take some empathy for the CEO and say, okay, if you do not get what you wanted, how can we make sure you're getting what you want and you're getting the value for your money that you expect to get? If you're getting the value that you want to, we are happy. If you're not getting the value that you should be getting for your money, we need to talk about how to fix that. Another issue here is that I have seen in many companies that the CEO takes things very personal because they are the most important person in the organization, but they are not representative for all of the interests of all of the stakeholders because they are just one stakeholder. And a lot of products that I have seen that were optimized specifically for the CEO were entirely worthless in the open market. And when we are talking about the company website, when the CEO says it looks horrible, we need to look, is it objectively horrible or is it just a taste of the CEO who says it's horrible? And even if the CEO is right, is the way that the CEO is using the website the same that our other users would? If the answer is yes, then we need to think about what we are doing, why we're doing it, and also why did we miss this thing in the past? How can it be that the CEO is the first person who realized that we may be developing the wrong product? How come none of our team has realized it? How come the PO is just building stuff for stakeholders without realizing what the market looks like? And how come our stakeholders from marketing and sales, they are not aware of what our customer is? So what should we be doing now? The first thing is we should just jot down the individual points that the CEO has surfaced. Then, as part of the sprint review, we should come to an agreement which of those points will we act upon and which of those points will we defer to a later point in time or maybe just even ignore. If we have come to that agreement, we have two further jobs to do. The first thing is for the product owner to make changes to the backlog in accordance to the learnings we just had. And the second is for the team to have a serious retrospective. What do we do with this information that just surfaced? What do we just integrate into our ways of working? What is just new work that has come up? And where are changes to our ways of working required so that we can deliver a better product in the future? If we've taken care of all those things, we should be acting accordingly. And of course, we should show to our stakeholders that we are taking our feedback seriously. We should invite the CEO into the next review again and show very clearly what are the actions that we have taken, what are the changes we have made to the product based on their feedback, what are the changes to our ways of working that we have made to our feedback, and how effective were those changes. If we have some work left to do, we should be transparent about this one and say those are the next steps, and until we have covered those, we have work in progress. The CEO will most likely be satisfied. On the other hand, if you only say, but that is how we do it and the CEO did not work with the requirements properly, they have come into the process so late, you will just be creating a war. So be positive about it. show that you're working to improve, show that you are really doing your best to create the best possible product for the company, and everything should be going in the right direction.